Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share. Feel free to write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding to this video or any videos that I posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. Recently, a viewer asked me about the teriyaki chicken chow mein Cantonese style. I thought it was a good idea and I decided to make it for dinner last night. I'm making what I call a simplified style with limited ingredients, easy for beginners to follow and recreate. My wife wished there are more vegetables, otherwise it turned out well. I cooked this dish in my cuisine at 14-inch stainless steel wok. Now it is a great beginner's wok, inexpensive, multifunctional, lightweight, easy to clean and maintain, and readily seasoned. Because it is a stainless steel wok, it needs to be seasoned each time using my spot seasoning method. I heat up the oil to its smoking point, turn the heat to low, let it smoke for about 15 seconds. It is ready. Simple but works. I like the large flat bottom surface area, about the size of a small frying pan. So this wok is frequently referred to as a wok pan. This chow mein is known as Hong Kong or Cantonese chow mein because it was popularized there. The noodles are pan-fried to create a crispy texture. Now it is my wife's all-time favorite noodle dish. The noodles are cooked in advance and then shallow fried in a thin layer of oil. The result is that the noodles will have contrasting texture between soft and crispy. Just imagine the texture of hash brown. You will get the idea of what it is like. Now if you like hash brown, you will enjoy this noodle style. I started cooked noodles in the refrigerator for about 2 days before using it. This will keep the noodles dry, preventing it from sticking to the bottom of the wok. In this case, the dish would not work. I pan-fry the noodles in medium heat and make sure that I have enough oil to prevent the noodles from burning. I also turn the noodles to fry them as evenly as possible. Here, I noticed that some of the noodles stuck to the bottom of the wok. I use my wok spatula to scrape them off. Now, in the traditional Hong Kong chow mein, the noodles used are Cantonese egg noodles. I first switched to spaghetti pasta noodles and then to linguine pasta noodles. They work better because of the flat configuration, providing more surface area to be fried, creating better texture. This is what makes home cooking fun when I can be flexible and creative. There's one famous quote about flavor. When you have contrast, you have great flavor. And the best part of this dish is the contrast between the soft and the crispy texture of the noodles. You can control this ratio by frying them longer to make it more crispy. However, I discovered that I prefer more soft than crispy. My wife prefers the other way around. Therefore, she always watches me, making sure that the outcome is leaning in her direction. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to shallow fry these noodles. The time is well worth to us. When it comes to cooking, if my wife is happy, I am happy. Several years ago, I bought a large serving plate at a store on sale, and it turned out to be ideal for this dish. And next, I'm going to cook the second part of this dish, which is the vegetables. It is frequently referred to as combinatorial stir-frying. Now, in this approach, you cook the ingredients with different flavor characteristics separately. At the end, you combine them together to create a single dish. Again, the goal is to achieve contrasting flavor and texture. The second part of this dish is broccoli and mushroom. And for simplicity, I'm only going to use these two. Now, normally I will use 3 or 4 additional vegetables to achieve greater flavor and texture differences. However, for people who are new to stir-frying, this might become unnecessarily complicated. The first step is to stir-fry the broccoli. There are different ways to cook broccoli: stir-frying, blanching, or steaming. Stir-frying creates the best flavor, whereas blanching provides better control of the texture. Now, steaming is less flavorful, but better in retaining the nutrients. Most of the time, I prefer stir-frying because of its efficiency. I can use the same wok for all the cooking steps shown here. I added the mushroom after I stir-fried the broccoli to about 70% doneness. Now this is known as sequential stir-frying. This will prevent overcooking the mushrooms. Stir-frying vegetable is the secret that make vegetables taste great. Now, stir-frying cooks food ingredients at higher temperatures to allow the Maillard reaction to create flavor molecules on the surface of the food ingredients. Food cooked at this temperature tastes better and is more delicious. Grilling, baking, frying, and roasting are based on the same principles. The second step in cooking the broccoli is to steam them to soften the texture. If you like broccoli crisp, this step is not necessary. For some vegetables, such as asparagus, zucchini, and snow peas, this step is unnecessary. Even for broccoli, it is a matter of personal preferences. I add a small amount of water from a squeeze bottle. Too much water dilutes the flavor of the broccoli. By adjusting the amount of water and regulating the duration of steaming, you have full control of the texture of the broccoli. Again, you should take advantage of the flexibility that you have in home cooking. The dish is done. I'm going to turn off the heat and start to season the dish. I'm going to season the dish with oyster sauce, which is the Swiss Army knife for flavoring stir-fry dishes. Most people consider it as a foundation sauce to layer flavors. Oyster sauce often sits at the bottom. Oyster sauce has relatively mild flavor, but it is a umami powerhouse. By adding umami flavor to a dish, it functions to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients by making the dish more savory. Oyster sauce does not work with all ingredients equally well, with some better than the others. With broccoli, it is a perfect match. It alone can enhance the flavor of broccoli without the need of complicated seasoning strategies. Furthermore, by using different amounts, the flavor can be tailored to individual preferences. The broccoli and mushroom are going to layer on top of the Cantonese chow mein, creating the second tier of this dish. Now I am ready to cook the final part of this dish. I clean and re-season the wok before cooking the teriyaki chicken. I want to make sure the wok is well seasoned. I use a method of marinating known as dry marinade by using cornstarch, the wok with top basic seasoning mix, and sugar without using any liquid seasoning agents such as sauces. Now, when marinating, reduce the temperature of the oil and affecting the effectiveness of searing, which requires high temperature. In this case, I lay the chicken in a single layer on the surface of the wok. I use 8 ounces of chicken, which is about the right amount to spread out into a single layer. Now, this method is known as shallow frying. I'm going to fry the chicken on one side to create a crispy breading before turning them over to fry the other side. The chicken cooked rapidly because they were cut in thin slices. The wok with top basic seasoning mix adds umami flavor to the chicken, and the sugar causes caramelization, further enhancing the flavor of the chicken. To effectively shallow fry the chicken, it is best to spread them out. The large flat surface of the Cuisinart stainless steel wok is ideal for serving as a small frying pan. Now I used 8 ounces of chicken, and they took up nearly all the flat surfaces. In order to cook a large batch of chicken, the best approach is to cook in separate batches. And by now, the chicken is done, and I do not want to overcook them. And next, I'm going to add a small amount of water to clean the wok in a method known as spot cleaning. This will allow me to remove the debris that have stuck to the surface of the wok. By only adding a small amount of water, it will turn into steam. And together with the wok spatula, the debris can be readily removed and actually return additional flavor to the dish. To create a classic teriyaki flavor, I'm going to use oyster sauce to provide umami flavor, hoisin sauce for sweetness, and dark soy sauce for saltiness and coloration. These 3 sauces create a teriyaki flavor profile that's usually considered to be classical. However, there are many other versions of teriyaki sauces. For example, pineapple juice is included in the Hawaiian version, whereas fish sauce and lime juice are included in the Thai version. And next, I spot clean the wok and to return some of the sauces that have been burned to the surface of the wok back to the dish. And my son liked the dish sweeter, and I add some sugar to match his flavor preference. This dish is delicious because it has many different flavors and textures, creating a perfect one-meal dish with great flavor and nutritional balance. This dish actually has 3 separate components, and each of them can be modified by making ingredient substitutions to create diversity and variations of the original dish. The dish is an excellent example of the different aspects of the fast cooking system that make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun. And the goal of the fast cooking system is to adopt a set of templates that can be worked as modules in creating different combinations. The end results are infinite variations that can be created using different ingredients. This video is not just a simple dish that allows you to follow as a recipe. Instead, it is a template that will allow you to modify, to explore, and to create. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as your daily routine using my fast cooking system, which is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. If you'd like to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking, and I will see you tomorrow.